Hello, beautiful people. Patricia here with the fifth episode of Let's Talk Anything and Everything. I would like to apologize actually for not releasing this sooner, but we were cooking, so there was no apology due, you see. With me, however, today is a guest. I promised a guest every month. So, our guest for February is Valerie from Oopsie Daisy. Hi, Val.
Hi, thank you for having me today. I'm super excited for the topic that we have on. So, yeah, let's get started.
Good, because our topic today is one that people will majorly relate with. It's adulting.
Yeah, the struggles, the hustle, and mostly the unexpected wins for adulting, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
unexpected. So, for the first time today, I'm actually going to go with a script because
Script.
it's adulting. It's adulting. Okay, not a script per se, just key points so that we talk about everything. We delve into it, we dig it, we cook it, let it cook.
Yay!
So, uh-huh. No one prepared us for this,
I
right?
don't, no, I don't think anyone really prepares you for adulthood. There's no like billboard written welcome to adulthood. You kind of
Yeah,
just flow into it after a certain stage in life,
yeah.
I
It just
suppose.
it
Yeah.
grabs you. It's like,
Yeah.
come here.
Adios.
Okay, so who responsibilities? Let's just be honest. The one thing about adulting that I can say for me personally, my take on the adulting front is that you don't need to figure it out. Basically, that's my take. It's one of those things that you can't quite figure out 100%. That's just on a general scope.
I do agree with that. And I think when you're younger, before you get into adulthood, there are so many lies that goes around about adulting until you actually get there to experience it
Yeah.
yourself. And you actually need to experience it to understand what it's like. Someone might give you like a script, give you ideas of what it's like, but everyone is different. And I think one of the lies that people feed us is that uh like adulthood just kicks in one day. But also, I tend to think it's the responsibility of our caretakers, mostly parents or our aunties, to sort of prepare us in a way. Because I think for me, if I had my parents prepare me in that way,
Yeah.
they just threw me out there in the world.
They left you to fend
And
for
I'm
yourself.
figuring it out, and it's just tough sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if somebody throws you, it's almost like throwing a child into a pool and expecting them to learn to
But
swim.
but the thing with kids is that they learn how to swim if you just throw them in the water. They figure it out.
And that's what adulting actually is.
Yeah.
You learn as you go along the way.
Uh-huh. I don't think I can blame our parents 100% because personally I think we were brought up when they were still struggling in a way. I feel like
Yeah.
it's a continuous thing that you
Yeah.
constantly have to figure out. There is no right or wrong way. There's no correct method of preparing this human being to be the best version of themselves. You can try, but they were also handling a lot of things because not everyone was born on a silver platter. But even if you were born on a silver platter, your parents are still figuring it out. So it's kind of difficult when they are also struggling and they have to show you the ropes. They kind of need to, but I wouldn't blame it 100% on them for not completely showing us the rope because I also feel that it's one of those things that you need to experience uniquely on your own so
Yeah,
that you
for
can tailor
sure.
your life according to how you want to tailor it,
Yeah,
according to your point of need.
I do agree with that 100%. Okay, so let's talk about the struggles,
Yeah.
aka the stuff no one told us about adulthood.
Yeah.
No one will tell you, but no one told us. But I think if we highlight them here, anyone who's getting into adulthood at
Yeah.
the beginning stages, like let's just say you've turned 18 or 19 or 20, things I think you should know.
Yeah. Things
Yeah.
that are not even taught in school, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah. The first one is budgeting, right? No?
Money.
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 Oh, that's a touchy one. That just needs a whole topic on its own, which we will
Yes,
do, by the way.
for sure.
We will do. But I feel like there are some things that we need to be told, because when you figure it out on your own, you're like, damn. This is
How did you
hard.
handle money when you got into adulthood? Like at the beginning, early days,
It was
early months, years.
rough. It was rough. I think it was my first employment, and it was not easy for me
How much
because
were you earning?
I was I was earning money that KRA cannot be able to deduct.
I think I was earning 4,000 shillings.
Oh
I worked
God!
in
Then I
an-
was rich.
Yes, I was my first ever job after high school.
Yeah.
I worked in an M-Pesa shop way back in the village, and I earned like 4,000, which meant like a lot of money. But my father reminded me, that's a stupid job, just leave it.
Okay.
Imagine, I had to stay home because he said, I don't think 4,000 is worth enough.
Oh, then
But
but I think I was actually earning a lot.
How much are you earning?
I was earning like 5 times what you were earning.
Whoa, girl!
I was rich.
You should be a millionaire.
I was
right
a
now.
rich auntie. Maybe I am. Anyway,
But I think things that people miss out when they start earning, it's the excitement of having the money,
yeah.
but not knowing
What to do with it?
what to do with the money. You just think, oh, I do it as the day comes. Truth is, you need to plan. And that is when like things like budgeting comes in, things like tracking down your expenses. Not forget even just about saving or investing, just knowing how to manage your own money. As much as people say, oh, you don't need to take it seriously when you're young.
Yeah, you just need to live. Oh no, you
But
don't need to live. You need to live. You need to
adulting
live
doesn't
safely.
work. Yeah,
you need to live safely
exactly
because
what you
it's
said.
like you get out of this cocoon where the parents are providing for you most of the time,
Yeah.
and you have this side of kind of entitlement. You know,
Right.
like I don't want you in my space, but I want your things.
Money.
And then you get out of that and you think it's all, oh, it's freedom. Let me go to my own place. Let me do my own things until you start realizing that I should go back and get maybe wheat flour, or I should go and get sugar from that place. I should go and get tissue. Actually, that is when you start realizing why they tell you to switch off the lights, and they tell
Yeah,
you when you're not using a
exactly.
room, you realize
Yeah.
why you start using Colgate like this, like in pinches. You know? But when you're at their
God,
place, it's like,
You
they
have to
it
get
figured
those
out.
moments to actually get to understand. But the most important thing, things no one ever told me as a young adult, that is like when I start earning, I need to learn how to manage my money. I wish I had that
Yeah,
advice.
same, yeah. You need to know
Yeah.
how to put it in investments and etc. And things like that.
I think another thing is career. Be
Career.
prepared to move to like 5-6 more jobs.
Be
And
be
it's
prepared to
okay.
move to what pays,
Yeah.
because you get in this survival mode, and I feel like some people are lucky. Some people actually it's luck. You hit the first job and it's okay, and or you hit the first business and it's nice, but most of the time you switch from what you actually studied for. You get
Exactly.
and you just move to something completely different.
Exactly.
It's crazy. But 9 out of 10 times, and according to my experience, is that at times you can even end up not even doing what you studied for in campus.
How
It's
many
crazy.
jobs have you moved through? And you're just still, I think, 25 or 26?
I know, I'm 27.
Oh, God. Yeah.
But hey,
How many, like, can you count? And ever since you started working?
I think maybe 3, 4, but they were long time a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, 3, 4-ish. Yeah, it was like 1 year you switch, or months you switch, and the times you just figure it out, and then if it's steady, then you're stuck there. You do it. You know, if it works, it works. You don't need to interrupt with a system that works.
Did you ever do any casual jobs in campus?
In campus,
That's also
yeah,
part of adulting.
online.
You'll do a lot of like short jobs,
Things,
6
yeah.
months, 3 months, and
I feel like in campus is where my online career was born. Like
Oh, like online writing.
online stuff.
But now we have a lot of online stuff going on, so you can do actually
The
more.
freelancing, yeah. But
Yeah.
at first I started with writing. The writing
never done that
things. Oh, you never done? Most people have done writing.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was writing, and then I went to trading, and then after that I was an attachee at KNBS, which was the only place that I actually ever applied my course, statistics. The only place literally my entire life where I've like literally applied it somewhere in an organization. The other times nowadays it's just the skills that I got that I apply. But if I was to say I applied what I studied for in an actual organization, then it was then. Because that's when we actually developed the questionnaires that were used for the census.
Yeah.
We actually structured them. We developed them on a software, everything that was done using in that 2019 thing.
Wow.
We
I've had
developed
so
the
many.
questions, we
Yeah.
checked it, all of it, and was like, oh, this is nice. And that's what got my whole concept of, oh, corporate is nice, because it was fun.
You like corporate?
I loved corporate. I was like, oh, if this is how it was going to be, then this is actually like one of those good things. And I wanted to be a corporate buddy.
Yeah, it's okay to
Yeah,
be a
because that
corporate girl.
experience was so nice, and they paid us. One of the touches that were paid, because it was not easy. We helped
Yeah.
set up the questionnaires, we helped set up the census, we helped count the things, like all of it. We were involved, so they paid us, and they paid us good money. Oh God! And in campus, when you're paid that money, you're rich, you're balling.
I agree. That's a lot of money. And I think another thing is, don't do an attachment more than 3 months that doesn't pay you. Honestly, like in this day and age, do not work in a company that does not pay you as an attachee. Yeah.
But do they pay nowadays?
The labor laws allow you to be paid something. Is this called stampede? You should be paid.
But in our country, I
For
also feel like
transport and
it
for
depends
what?
on the country. Does it not depend on the
I personally think you should have the liberty to choose where you want to be attached, and do not work for companies that cannot pay you even just for, let's say, breakfast or even tea.
Yeah, free
You
tea.
get.
Yeah.
Not more than 3 months. You can do free for 3 months, but not 6.
So what did you want to be when you grew up, when you were growing up, rather? What did you want to be?
God, I had so many career options, but I ended up settling for marketing, which I'm not pursuing currently, but it's something that I really like. And now I'm just in that space. After many years, I've already gone through the adulting phases.
Yeah.
It's okay that I don't know what I want to pursue career-wise.
But you've said settling. Settling, that's a very...
Settling, like having a career. Can you ever really settle with a career?
Settling is quite an intriguing term, because it feels like it's usually associated with settling for less.
Whoa, no, absolutely not entirely.
It's like, yeah, you know what? It's the only option, so let me go with it.
No, I don't like the idea of settling. I like the idea of choosing one path
And then sticking to it.
and sticking to it for a while, and notice how it brings you, like, your personality out. If it feels inauthentic all the time, you're probably in the wrong place. And I think when something feels wrong.
Yeah, but since it's adulting and you have bills to pay and you have
Exactly.
things and
It's
things
also
and
a
things
bad.
like this, like, do we really have the leeway per se to try out all of those things? I mean, we have the time? Definitely, you have the time, but do you really have the time with the bills spending and the struggles and no, not everyone is struggling. Some people actually have it so nicely, but most people are trying to figure it out. But do we really have the time to jump, especially when you don't know what to do, right?
Yeah.
When you feel stuck? Have you ever been in this position where you don't know what to do, you don't know how to do it, and you don't feel like you don't have the time to do it? How do you go about that? Because that's like a big part of adulting. You never 100% know what to do.
the moments where you question, I don't know what to do with my life, you'll experience that.
Yeah.
Even if you feel like you're 20 and you have stuff figured out, I think you'll get to a point where you're
You have these
questioning,
breakdowns, yeah.
am I doing the right thing? Is this what I want to do? And sometimes you will find yourself there
Oh, yeah.
and you have bills to pay.
And you don't have the
I
time to
think I
jump
have
from
been
one
there.
thing to the
I've been there,
a
like,
lot.
yeah.
But how
It's
did
a
you
very
how did
difficult
how did
space to
how
be
do you usually go?
emotionally.
How do you usually get over it? How do you go? How do you wake up from feeling a bit depressed on what to do to actually going to a point where, you know what, now I have this and I want this and I'm going to try this out.
I think sitting in the house or probably wherever you are and feeling sorry for yourself,
Doesn't help.
it doesn't really help you emotionally. The easiest thing to do is to just wake up and move. It doesn't have to be like, if it's not this,
Yeah.
I can't. If you have the opportunity to actually work and earn money, even if it's not something you really want to do, at least you're able to take care of your bills.
Yeah.
Get a job that pays your bills. And with that, you have to sacrifice yourself to now start trying other things you think they might be a good fit for you. And I think that's where I am personally.
Okay.
I have a job that pays my bills and I'm fine with that. But now I'm in a space where I'm really trying out things that I actually think they're a good fit for me.
Things that come out
Like doing
naturally.
this podcast. It's
Yeah.
one of them. Yeah.
Thank you.
You know, it's
Yeah.
not like I would be doing podcasting all the time, but when she called me, I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm trying out. I'm not saying this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, but it really feels good to be on camera and doing a podcast.
And just
But
talk
I
about
still
it.
have a job that pays bills. I'm not saying that that's what I want to pursue long term. But even in those moments, I still have lessons that I'm learning.
Yeah.
There's also the aspect of probably I'm wasting time.
Yeah, that's the worst.
You don't have much
I
time.
I
You
was
don't
at
have
that
time.
point. There was a point where I was at that point. It's like it's stuck, but you're not stuck.
Yeah.
Like you're making money, but you feel stuck.
Yeah.
And it's majorly a question of passion. Like, I am doing this, I am doing that, and they're working and it's great. Or at times they're not even working, which is still great, but I am not passionate about it.
Yeah.
I don't feel a thing when I do it. And I don't know what I want to do to feel something. And I don't know how to go about it. And I don't even know if I want to go about it because I feel overwhelmed, wanting to even just start going about it.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like a hole.
How
And
did
I
you
feel
get
like
out
that is how usually depression kicks in. It was just like you want to think about it, but you don't want to think about it. You want to do something about it, but you don't know what to do about it.
How did you handle it?
I honestly, that's when we talked the first time, remember? And I was
Yeah.
like, well, I don't know what I want to do.
I do remember. Yeah.
I don't know what I want to do. And I feel like I'm getting older and it's kind of embarrassing to say that I don't know what I want to do. Like I'm a grown up, but I don't know what I want to do.
And it's okay. 'cause
And it's
I-
and you
I
told me
know
it's okay.
it's
Yeah, you told me
totally-
it's okay.
Like, it's totally okay. Because the more you continue to criticize yourself or to shame yourself for not
Yeah.
having figured out, you don't really open up yourself to actually try things out with an open mind.
Yeah.
You close yourself emotionally, and in that, the result will be shaming yourself. It becomes now like a roller coaster.
You're your worst judge. You kind of become your worst
Yeah.
critic, your worst
Yeah.
judge. And I remember it was during that time that I read the book, The Four Agreements.
Oh, you've read
Oh,
it?
great book, yeah.
You like it?
Yeah, I love that book. And I know it's not an answer, but I snapped out of it.
Really?
I know it's not an answer. The thing that I think helped me is that I allowed myself to feel it. I allowed myself to go through it. And then I pulled myself out of it. I read that book and I was like, come on, get up. Enough. Get up.
Yeah, you'll
Figure
get
it
out
out.
of it. So if you're experiencing adulthood, a middle crisis, midlife crisis, you'll experience it. Trust me.
It's kind of a midlife
Everybody. It
crisis,
doesn't
but
matter.
adulting. Yeah.
Everybody gets to
Oh, it
experience it
gets
in
you get
adulting.
whooped. You get
Yeah,
whooped, everyone. And
but
I
you
feel like
get
you
out
don't
of
even need to
it.
be in your 20s to get whooped. I feel like even people in the 30s,
Even
40s,
40s, it comes.
it comes.
Yeah,
It's one of those things. It's like a ritual, you know,
sort of. Yeah.
that has to just, you have to pass through and you have to mold yourself.
I think another tip would be
Get good.
networking.
For me, it's support system.
Yeah.
Like get yourself good friends.
Yeah, good friends who can support you.
Yeah,
And
because
that's
these are things you're not taught. Like your parent can't tell you the kind of friends you're supposed to be. That's how you rebel. You're like, no, I don't want to hang out with it. I want to hang out with that because a bad influence. But it's all good and great. But at the end of the day, get yourself intentional friends.
be intentional about making friends. If you're not a social person, it's not like humans are generally social people.
Yeah.
I tend to think that people who consistently say, "Oh, I'm an introvert, so I don't, I'm not a social person." Get over it, by the way. Get over it if you're that kind of a
Ouch.
person. Because
You're being
no,
hard
no,
to
no.
introverts.
This is my take on it.
Yeah.
Every human being at their core, connection is a big part of them,
Yeah.
of a human being. Any human being,
Okay.
connection is that. So the whole idea of hiding behind introversions, because I have been around introverts, they are engaging.
Oh, they are great people.
I've been around extroverts, they are engaging.
I'm-
So nobody,
certified
if you're
extrovert.
using if
Who
you're
loves
using
to be
the
around
excuse of
introverts.
being an introvert, you might be going through a mini depression for isolating and using that as an excuse of an introvert and hiding. And you don't know. You can be unconscious, by the way, in the sense that, I'm just an introvert. I don't want to be. You might. Sometimes it's good to take time
Chill.
off
Yeah.
to energize yourself. And then there's that part where you just don't go out. And the day you start dating, for example, you expect the person you're dating is your entire life. You're forgetting these people have like another life out there. That's why you need to create a group of friends.
But Val, nowadays, if you step out, one is gone. Where do I go? Why do I even leave the door? Why should I go out that door? If I don't even go out. I just open this door. Shoo.
But you are engaging. There's a reason why even you don't have even to be like going out necessarily. But sometimes be the one to initiate texts, even with your friends.
But they do.
Ask your friend,
I
can
think
you
they
come
just
over?
they
Or-
just have to like you enough, or they just have to like your company enough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, it's true. They just don't self-isolate all the time. They have their moments, but most, or at least the ones that I've associated with, they do. Yeah.
Yeah. Friendships are very, very important, by the way. But there is a downside of. There's also another thing with friendship. As you get older, others will have kids and say start getting busy. They'll not have time for you. As in, just life will start lifing.
Yeah. Oh, like
And now you
lives.
don't have time to meet all the time. And now that's when intention comes in.
Yeah.
Like when you say we are meeting today, Aki, don't go silent.
Yeah.
No, like when you plan with your friend, it's like, I totally forgot that we were meant to meet.
Yeah.
She will not forget today, she'll forget tomorrow, she'll forget even the day after, even the day after. And then what will happen when you get older, you just can't make friends. It has to be intentional the same way you said, Patricia, like extremely intentional.
But we actually kind of covered this in our friendship episodes, which you guys should go and listen to, by the way.
Oh, you did a friendship?
Yeah. Embarrassing, Valerie. Anyway,
Not see that.
back to adulting, we were sidetracking a little bit, but I feel like one of the key parts of adulting is the mental aspect. The mental health, because I feel like we are in this position where we use social media is a healthy tool, but it's being used to spread falsehood. So you see the life of someone else out there and you think, oh my God, they have it so nice. Oh my God, like this and this is working for them. We get to this aspect of comparison that we shouldn't even get to in the first place. And then now you start downplaying your life.
Have you experienced like feeling of comparison? I have.
I have, and I think
can
most people
confess
have. I can't say that I haven't. Especially when I was having it rough a few years back.
Right.
I was having it so rough. Life was whooping me in the ass, left, right, center. And then my friends are having some of them, not all of them. Like you go online and you see like someone's chopping life and you're like, oh my God, what am I doing wrong? I wake up every single day. I put in the work,
Yeah.
But the thing is that at the end of the day, someone has to make an unfair call. And if that person is you, then it's your turn. If they are having the time of their life, that's them. That's their life. Exactly that. It's exactly that, rather, the time of their life. You can't compare where you are with where someone else is because it kind of destroys you mentally.
But how do you handle it if you're like in it? It's one thing for us to speak,
yeah,
and it's another thing to actually be in it.
Be
You
in
mentioned
it. I was in it. I
experienced that.
experienced it. It was rough. I was so broke. I was literally very broke. And then you go online, and then you see your age mate. You get, and they are. It feels like they're having it so nice. I almost deleted Instagram. I'm not even
For
lying.
real?
I was in a point where I wanted to delete Instagram and WhatsApp and just go.
At that point, how old were you?
I was 20. Is it 23, 24?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it kind of just
pressure.
felt like this is too much pressure for me to handle. I want to
Yes,
go home.
you were
I'm just
so
a child.
young to be
I want to
giving
go home
it-
to my mom.
And that's
But,
when
you also have to understand how independence actually works. And you can't do that if you don't live it. So I usually do this thing where I anchor myself. If I know I'm going too far, if I know I'm judging myself harshly, and that's why I'm telling you, when I was in this position where I was kind of thinking, and I read the 4 agreements.
Yeah.
The 4 agreements, this line where it says that you are your own worst judge. You judge yourself so harshly. So nowadays, if I didn't know it back then, but nowadays I try to anchor myself. I can catch myself.
when you're judging yourself.
Yes,
Yeah.
I can catch myself. I try so hard not to flog myself over things I can't control, and it becomes easier for me.
Yeah.
So if I feel like, let's say Valerie, let's say Val is my age mate or Val is my friend, and things yada yada, and she's having it great and things are going well for her. I'm like, you know what, Val, this is good. Even if I don't tell it to you, but when this spirit of comparison starts creeping in, I'm like, oh, not today. Val knows what she did to get to where she is, and if it's working out for her, and if she's reaping the results, that's good for her. I am proud of her. She should actually hit the next level. I will figure my own things out. We're in different paths. I will figure out my own, and it will work, and I will make it work. But in the meantime, I am actually very happy for her.
And I tend to think, like, when you're experiencing things like just in the same line of mental health when you're adulting, like, it's totally okay
Yes.
for you to feel jealous. Honestly, it's okay for you to feel envious. But whenever you're having these like emotions, they're always trying to communicate to you something.
Yeah.
Something you're probably not going after for yourself. Like when you want something and you haven't been pursuing it, and then you see somebody else having it, you start experiencing jealous. They've got the career, they've got
The man, the
they've
woman,
got the
the
what, the
job,
woman,
the car.
But you don't want to get out and go to date. You're not going out there to network. You're not going, you're not doing all this thing, applying for jobs properly, or contacting people who have done it. Like, how have you done it?
As far as applying job, have you ever been depressed by LinkedIn? Have you ever been
But-
depressed by that little app? That blue
LinkedIn,
thing,
LinkedIn,
LN
LinkedIn.
thing. No.
I think LinkedIn is,
It's usually IN, right? Hey, I feel like that IN
How
is
was your
just for, this
experience
is
with
hard
that?
in it. I deleted that app. I
You don't have it?
unsubscribed to the whatever, to the notifications and messages. Don't come here giving me jobs that you know very well that if I apply, I'm not even going to get a response. You're joking with me.
Or those, like, I tend to think, I have applied a couple of jobs on LinkedIn, and I've gotten a response, like, you didn't qualify.
Yeah.
But it annoys me when someone doesn't tell you why, because how do you improve from what? From where you are?
Yeah. How do you want me to have the 10 years experience if you're not going to give me 1 year experience?
Oh,
and how am I supposed to
that
acquire
part
that?
too.
And then you email me with opportunities. Get out. I
It
don't want
actually
your email.
affects your mental health.
I deleted it. I unsubscribed from the emails. I was like, you cannot torture me like this. Let me just figure it out. You get? And people, I know maybe it's like you need to you need to tailor your CV, you need to do this, yada yada. But I'm like, bro, when you get rejection back to back to back, and at least that's you getting them. At times you don't even get anything. They just dumped you, you know, like someone dumping you and they're not even telling you that you are the problem, or which is okay. I don't need closure, but for you just to
You need
ghost
closure.
me
Closure
like
is
that.
very important. What do you
So,
mean?
I was like, you know what? I am going to figure out what I'm going to figure out. I'm
Right.
going to make it work. I'm not going to sit here, apply for these things, get tormented mentally, and I'm not even getting responses, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like if you have a skill set, that's what I want to say. With adulting, you need a skill set. You need a skill set. Find the things you are good at, find where to apply them, check out your niche, find actually know how to execute it. Ideas are everywhere. You can get an idea. Everything you once wanted, everything you have right now, everything, it's an idea. Where you are right now. And I think Vusi Tembekwayo said it. Every single thing starts off as an idea, but ideas are just that. What is an idea without execution?
That's true.
So I feel like to get around adulting, those ideas that you're scared of, you know, or you feel like are too high or too low, they might be the one. Just figure it out, master your skills, hone your skills, by the way, and then apply them in different aspects of your life. And don't also apply them in a way that you're throwing darts on the wall, hoping one will stick. No. No. That is the whole key. That has been my way of figuring out adulting. I'm just like, you know what? I have this particular skill set. I can apply it in this particular area. Yeah.
That's very, very true. I agree with that. And in the same line of like your mental health, I think make use of therapy. If you're in a position where you're working, you can afford, you
Therapy.
can manage or afford therapy.
We are traumatized human beings, aren't we?
Because life can be very overwhelming sometimes, and you need a safe space where there's no judgment. You can just vent and vent and vent and be able to come out with it with the like solution or whatever. So a lot of young people, I never knew about therapy, by the way, until I was, I think, 25. It never occurred to me, not even, is it 25 when I was working in this company that gave us an opportunity to,
Oh, lucky
yeah,
you.
you can actually go for therapy.
Oh, lucky you.
Better help.
Oh, nice. I think I
It was a
figured out
very good
therapy in
company.
movies.
Yeah?
I figured out therapy in movies.
Through movies.
Through movies, yeah.
Wow. Can you imagine? I think, thank God for the internet, we can now realize how important mental health.
And there are also
Back in the
apps.
days, our parents would be like, wacha utoto, ebu ini maisha, you need to toughen up.
That's why I say they did a lot of work, right? We are like traumatized human beings.
Yes, we are.
Traumatized human beings.
Honestly. And,
And some of us don't even know it. You get involved with someone, like be it sexually or otherwise, or just platonic.
yeah.
And then you realize that you have some baggage that is it's
everyone
cringe.
has baggage.
It's just cringe, and you need to work on yourself, and you've
Yeah,
been told
there's
you need to
such a
heal.
thing. Yeah. And I like that. I see a lot of young people take their mental health so seriously. It is a priority. Forget even about being in a relationship. Honestly, if you ask me, in your early 20s, prioritize getting your mind right. Because when your mind is right, you can navigate these other things like career, you can navigate dealing with failing at something, you can navigate at a relationship failing and you getting back up and getting out there, compared to when your mind is not right, these other things will be affected. So mental health is such a priority when you're doing adulting.
But
Things people didn't tell us.
yeah, and you know, so that no one gets confused here, there are also wins. Actually, there are expected wins of adulting. We're just not talking about the negative parts. Though most people relate to the negative parts, but
Yeah.
we do have unexpected wins, right? What's your take on that?
I think the beauty of it is like doing life in your own on your own terms. That's the beauty about adulting. Think anyone under 18 can never understand that.
Yeah, it's there's your life, and you write your own script.
Yes, that's the beauty about it. You
It's
write your
scary
own
because
script.
if you fumble, you're fumbling your life. Though the best part about fumbling is that you can always pivot.
Yeah.
You can always
Actually.
take another route. Whether you're 20, whether you're 30, whether you're 40. And I think the thing that hinders people from doing that is fear of the unknown. But you are able to pivot. That's the beauty of it. You have that independence. You're just so scared to use it.
Fear, yeah. If you run the show with fear.
Yeah.
So the beauty about it is just you can
You can change it. Like it's like an outfit. I can wear this and I'm like, I don't feel sexy enough in this fit.
No, so
Maybe
let's
one
change
throw in
it.
something else.
That's true. I agree with you 100%.
And then there is this whole aspect of growing. You are experiencing growth physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally,
yeah.
financially. And you need to understand it. You need to wrap your head around it. You need to know how to go about it.
I think people don't take stock to see how they have grown.
Yeah,
They
most people
kind of
don't.
just winging it and going and going and going and going and going, and then they'll start until they hit that depression step where
Yeah.
midlife crisis hits. That's when they realize, oh my god, they stop and then they realize
You need to
this- yeah.
stop. You need to stop because at times you get so unhappy chasing things. You forget to live in the moment. You forget to be like, yo, it's been 3 years and I'm not even in the same position I was back then.
Taking
So-
stock of how you can.
Pause. I feel it's very important to pause. Adulting can be so ruthless and it can be unbearingly hard. And you need to have these little moments where you appreciate yourself and you appreciate your wins and you just appreciate life in general. Appreciate the breath in your lungs.
You grow a lot. You become a
Yeah.
whole new
A
person
whole
every
new-
now and
exactly.
then.
I can
That's the
I can
beauty
become a whole new
about it.
person tomorrow, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
God,
I can
that's
just
so
have a
daring.
new personality. I'm just like, you know what? I'm going for this. And I am going to
independence.
analyze the risks and the risk to reward. And if it makes sense, I'm going for it.
Yeah, the freedom to just not feel I don't need to consult anyone to wake up. If I want to wake up on a Saturday 1 p.m., I can wake up at 1 p.m.
Because an unfair truth of life, Val, is you are born alone and you live alone.
That's true. Oh
So-
God.
You need to figure it out. Even if you are twins, it's okay. But you're not born at the same time. Like, choop, you're not pushed once.
Yeah.
One comes out and the other one comes out alone. And you
you're
will
both
die alone.
independent.
Anything else that people tell you in the middle is just a fallacy. You are born alone and you will die as such.
Did
And
you hear that?
therefore,
Fallacy.
nothing should dictate how you're actually going to go about it. Unless if you're a spiritual person, it's God, it's the Bible, but you should actually learn how to take charge of your life. Yeah.
I think as we finish up, the last thing will be, I think, tips on how to survive
How to,
adulting.
how to make it less hectic or
Painful
less
and
painful.
exciting.
Uh-huh. But
would
it's, okay,
say-
well, let's try. I don't think there's one way to it. Probably quite a number, right?
Yeah. But I think with the world today, not even the days, our days, our days I'm talking about 2016, 17.
Oh
there.
yeah. Oh God,
That's
we're
when I
old.
think I started campus huko. So slow down.
Yeah.
Aki, slow down. You're not trying to run a marathon. Many people these days don't know how to slow down.
Because
I
it
just feel like I need
moves.
to switch my job. My sister, who is 21, was already telling me, and she's been on that job for 3 months. And I was like, just get the experience, and then let's move to the next step.
Yeah.
Don't pressure yourself to like want to do things really, really fast.
Learn to slow
You forget
down.
even millionaires, billionaires, they do things one at a time. So when you're starting your adulting, this is mostly the time 18 there,
Yeah.
or 19 or 20, you just moved out, you have your first apartment.
Slow down.
Take your time. You're not trying to run anybody's marathon. It's yours and yours. There's always that spirit of wanting to belong with your friends, trying to run their races, and you don't know where they are. You don't know what's pushing them to do that.
You don't really know what someone else's life is all about.
Especially the
only assume.
internal world. The internal world is what motivates people to do certain things.
Exactly.
And if you keep looking at the external world of other people and using that as reference of how you should be moving, you're going to hit a bump, then urudi square one.
I feel like on the same note, you should also the second point is that you should find your people. Speaking of
By the way, there's a book called Finding My People.
Yeah.
You should find that book about finding your own tribe. There's
Find your
such
own
a
tribe.
thing.
There's-
And it's okay to
yeah.
not belong.
It's okay to not belong. Find where you belong. Find your own sheep. Even if it's a weird path, be weird together. It's really, really important because that way you won't live life masquerading or you won't live life eclipsing. You know, eclipsing where you're living life according to how you want other people to see you. Yeah. But if you have your own people, you are free to be yourself. You are free to just let you be you. Be with people who let you be you.
I know, right?
Weird as you are with your weirdness, with your ridiculousness, but it means you are fun. You like that's your park.
Yeah.
So whether you guys meet once in a year or once in a month, because adulting is about that, you make plans and then
Sometimes
you know
you
Val will do. Let's do this next week. Next week turns out to be next month. But when you guys meet, the
You just feel
spark,
like you're at home.
I know
Exactly.
the conversations, the flow, everything
Yeah.
it fits.
I
So
agree.
you should
100%.
learn to do that.
Another thing is to embrace messiness.
Oh,
Adulting is messy. And be excited to be in that mess. Out of that messiness is when now.
you know how to clean up.
Yeah, exactly. Embrace
yeah.
messiness.
And you will always know how to clean up. It's like a recipe. If you have a recipe in your head, if I call you to make something for me, you won't need to read it because you've done this thing.
Yeah.
You know how to do this thing.
Right.
You'll just whip it out. You'll just ask me for ingredients. That's how I see cleaning up the mess. Because when you clean up your mess, in case you will experience this mess again, and chances are you will know how to go about it. But you will also not be scared to clean up the mess.
But because we live in this, the way YouTube is, the internet generally is curated with this clean, not very perfect life. And you think that's
doesn't
like the
exist.
daily,
That's
daily
not life.
to day life. You
Life
actually need to experience living close to someone who is on the internet to know how messy,
The life can get.
extremely messy. They're just showing you for inspiration, but it's not real.
Yeah. And in relation to that, I feel like you should also learn how to ask for help. A lot of people sink in depression because I don't know if you didn't know how to ask for help or you just didn't want to ask for help. But I feel like at this point in our lives, we are grown-ups, right? What's the worst that someone can do? What, you're going to talk about me? Fine. I don't actually care about that stuff. You will talk and you will rest, right? You'll continue their life. But at the end of the day, I still asked for it anyway. So
People fear because of judgment.
I think people fear because of judgment, but that's the thing. You forget that a coin has two sides. You're looking at the worst that could happen, that, oh, they'll judge me, oh, they'll do this, and yada, yada. What if they actually help you? Why are you not looking at that part? But most importantly, why are you not emphasizing on that part? You get?
But sometimes like when you've been around a lot of judgment in your life, you'll always move with that mindset of
Yeah.
they'll just judge me, so let me just figure this out on my
On your own, which is okay. It's good to be a strong, independent black woman.
But it does not exist.
But you are not an island. There's the illusion of it.
Yeah.
You get, most of the time you see people rolling with, I can do it on myself. I always do it by myself. I can do it on my own.
Yeah.
But it gets easier when someone else helps you do it.
Wow. That's very true, by the way.
Yeah, it gets a whole lot easier. Like you said, it's messy.
Extremely. Oh, God.
It's messy. And I think the last one maybe is learning basic skills. We don't have basic skills, or we have them, but we kind of, most of the time, don't apply them. You don't know how to budget, you don't know how to communicate.
Yeah, basic skills.
Yeah.
People need that. Like
People
the
need
basics for everything that makes humans
Mm-hmm.
survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things that saves you money and saves you from a lot of nonsense, a lot of stress, a lot of bullshit in general. Because like that's the honest truth. It's, we have this facade that you want to come out as perfect, you want to come off as you have it figured out, but you don't necessarily need to. Just learn your skills, right? Learn your basic skills, learn your people, okay? Learn to let loose, learn to embrace the mess. You
I
get,
do agree with that 100%.
learn to stop and notice your growth.
Wow. Yeah, that's huge.
It's just a little chain of things, okay? It's this, you don't need a whole resolution.
No.
You don't need a whole resolution. You need little rituals that connect, okay?
like
And you can
systems.
connect them independently, they're mutually exclusive. You don't need one way to know that you're moving.
Yeah.
You don't need to swim in one direction
Yeah,
to tell yourself that you are heading somewhere.
that's true.
You can just maneuver, but at the end of the day, you'll reach where you want to be.
That's true.
And with adulting, there is no where you want to be. Because even those who have money, they're not just sitting waiting for retirement. They're still
No.
making more money. They're still making that
making
cash
more
cow.
money.
Different. In fact, they have a cash cow, but they're building another cash cow.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
there isn't really an end to it, is there? It's like when you read the book of Ecclesiastes, and there's this vanity.
Like everything is vanity. Don't follow that stuff. No, I'm not religious, but no. They're lying to you.
I just feel like you don't need to have it figured out, is the point.
Yeah.
That's my take on the adulting thing.
Yeah.
You don't need to figure it out. Life happens, yes, and life is not rocket science, and life is not hope.
Yeah.
It's the things that you put in. It's the
true.
things that you are bold to go for. It's the things that you don't punish yourself like severely for missing out on or for doing.
Do you ever punish yourself?
I stopped. Like I said, I don't flog myself. If, let's say, something happens and I was a very active participant, I'll be like, okay, so yeah, it happened and I let it happen, and it's bad that I did, and I've learned.
You take accountability.
I take accountability, but I don't flog myself because it will get me nowhere.
For sure. Yeah.
I do my part. I'm like, yeah, Patricia, that was stupid. But you learned something,
Yeah.
and we won't do it again.
Yeah.
And even if we do it again, I don't know, we'll just be doing it for the plot.
Yeah, we're doing it for the plot.
Yeah, but we know the end result to this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think
What's your general take on this?
we're just figuring it out, honestly. If you ask me, even me, I'm still feeling like I'm just starting adulthood, but this is another version of adulthood where I have an idea of the direction I'm taking.
Yeah.
Because when you're in your 20s, you're sort of like you're just winging it.
Yeah, exactly.
no
That's a nice thing.
script.
There's no script to it.
No. But in your, like, when you start your 30s, did I say out that
Yeah,
out
you
loud?
did say that out loud. But it's okay. We are embracing
You
mess.
come with a different mindset. You're not scared of anything. You're very confident.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it, actually.
I feel like for today, for what I'm going to leave you with today, like I usually do, I am going to read it and I hope you're going to listen. So, at the end of the day, adulting is wild, messy, and it is an unpredictable ride. Some days you feel like a boss, other days you cry over how expensive avocados are, and both are valid. That's one.
Yeah.
And two, if you ever feel lost, remember this: no one fully knows what they're doing. We are all just making it up as we go. And that's the beauty of it.
Thanks for listening, and remember, adulting is hard, and at least we are in this together.
We always are.
Yeah.
So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. It was a long one, but I feel it was a really, really good one. So
Yeah, I loved it.
really, really hope to have you next time and we can talk about something else
One
because
of
this
the
was really
minis,
good.
actually.
So anyway, we are going to say ciao, ciao.
Ciao.